My name is PhtCon, and in this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps to set up a new course in BP Pro. First, here's an overview of the steps. The first thing we're going to do is create a GitHub organization for your course. Then we're going to add PhtCon as an owner of that organization. We're going to apply a GitHub education coupon to that organization so that you have unlimited private repos. We will set the default organization permissions. Both steps 3 and 4 are optional, but highly recommended. Then we're going to log into BP Pro with our GitHub account. We're going to create the course in BP Pro. We're going to upload the course roster. And then finally, we'll show how to invite students to log in and join the course organization. So the first step is to create a GitHub organization for your course. So to do that, we'll log into GitHub. So over here, I will make a new window and log in at github.com. And I'll sign in with my GitHub account. And I will make a new organization for my course. It's recommended to make a new organization for every instance of your course. So I'm going to make a new organization and I'm going to choose the free plan and I'm going to call it UCSB, since that's my university, CS123 and F20 for fall 20. Contact email, I'll put in my university email. And I'll say that this belongs to my personal account, and I will click Next. And that should get us an organization. So you can see that we now have an organization called UCSB CS123 F20. And we are going to go ahead and click Complete Setup. And we're pretty much good to go. There are some optional questions here. We don't really need to worry about those right now. So organization is done. You do want to create a new organization for each instance of the course. So not just one organization that you use over multiple semesters or quarters, but one for each semester or each quarter. All right, moving on. We're now going to add PhtCon as an owner of this organization. First of all, why are we doing that? We'll walk through these steps in a moment. But the idea is that BP Pro accesses your organization's data through the PhtCon account. That's a GitHub user account that's built into BP Pro. It's registered to me, PhtCon, who administers BP Pro. It's a machine user. So this GitHub account is not my normal GitHub account. This is only used within BP Pro. My regular GitHub account is PhtCon. So adding that is what allows BP Pro, the tool, to access the GitHub organization on your behalf, basically. So to add PhtCon as an owner to this organization, we want to go to this organization's page. So we'll just get rid of this welcome survey news stuff here and go to the homepage of the organization, which is github.com and then the name of the organization. We'll go here to People, and we'll go over to Invite Member, and we'll type in PhtCon, and there it is, and we will click Invite, and we will make this PhtCon an owner of the organization. That's equivalent to having, say, root access on a Unix system. So now that invitation is pending. And returning to the slides, once you do that, you should email me, phtkon@ucsb.edu, because I have to click to accept that invitation before it becomes active. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now in a separate browser. So I'm going to log in over here as PhtCon. So actually I want to first of all log out, because I'm logged in as a different user right now, and I'm going to log in as PhtCon, and I should have, if I go to that organization, UCSB CS123 F20, There should be an invitation here waiting for me. There is. So I'm going to view that invitation and accept that invitation. All right. So now we're ready to move on. Just to review, on this step, you add PhtCon as an owner, and then you email me, and I accept the invitation. So we are ready for step 3. So optionally, if you have registered yourself with GitHub as an instructor, you should be able to apply a coupon to that organization so that that organization gets unlimited private repos. The way that you verify your status with GitHub Education is you visit education.github.com. So let me show you what that looks like. If you go to education.github.com, you'll see that on this website, there's links for students, teachers, schools, and events. If you click on the Teachers tab, there's a place where you can get benefits for teachers. And if you click on that, I was last verified as faculty on July 20th, 2020, just very recently. If you have already been verified, then you're great. If not, there should be a link on here where you can submit your information. I would strongly encourage everyone who is faculty that works with GitHub to do that because you get a lot of great benefits. So let me show you one of those benefits. There is this link right here. So I'm going to visit this link, GitHub org upgrades. And once you've been verified as an instructor, if you visit this link, you should see all of your organizations. And it'll take a minute for those to populate here because I got lots of them. And you can see upgrade, or in some cases, coupon already applied. I'm going to see if I can find that organization that we just made, the UCSB CS123. And I might want to search within page here. There it is. I'm going to click upgrade. And I'm going to say that this is a classroom. Finish the upgrade. And that will take a moment to process, but usually it happens within a couple minutes. You've successfully submitted your organization upgrade request. And if we go back to the organization and go to settings, in a moment, if I look under billing, I will see currently monthly bill is 0. And at some point on here, we may actually get a notice that we've been upgraded to a plan with unlimited private repos. So that may take a few minutes, but that will happen shortly. So let's move on to the next step. In this step, we're going to set the default organization permissions. GitHub's default for organization member permissions is probably not what you want for teaching a course. In a course, you may have students work on some open source projects in public repos, but it's more typical to have students work in private repos on closed source projects. You are setting up an organization so that you as the instructor have access to all of the repos, and you can also set up TAs and other helpers, other course staff to be owners and be able to see all of the repos, but you don't want necessarily students to see each other's repos. So the way you do that is you go here to Member Privileges, and the base privileges, which by default are read, you set those to none. Now, anytime a student creates a repo within this organization, assuming they're going to become members of the organization, that's one of the things that BP Pro helps us automate, they will be able to see their own repos, and they will not be able to see the private repos of other students, unless those students join a team and then the repo is set to be accessible by the team. And actually, that's another thing that BP Pro will help us to automate and make a little easier. So we've set the default member permissions to none, just like described on this slide. So we're ready to move on to the next step. So now in this step, we're going to log into BP Pro with our GitHub account. So at the moment, the URL is this one, ucsbcsgithublinker.herokuapp.com. By the time you're doing this, we may have a new URL at the BP Pro URL. So watch for updates from the PI team about the correct URL to use. But for this video, I'm going to use the URL where we currently have this deployed, ucsb/cs/githublinker.herokuapp.com. And I'm going to click Sign in with GitHub. And in the case that you're logging in for the very first time, it would ask you to authorize this app to access your GitHub data. But in this case, I've already logged in before. And also the first time you log in, you will not see this new course icon. The first time you log in, it'll establish your account, but then you'll need to contact me to upgrade your account to an instructor account. So that process is described here on the slide. Log in and then email me to request your account be upgraded to an instructor account. In the meantime, on the courses page, you'll see this, a currently enrolled courses list, which will probably be blank if you're a brand new user. Once I upgrade you to instructor, you'll have the new course button. And we see the new course button here. So the new course button is what we're going to do next. So before you can create a course in BP Pro, you need to have created a course organization. We've done that. You need to have added PhtCon as an owner. We've done that. We need to have logged into BP Pro once to establish the account. We've done that. And you must have emailed me so that I can accept the invitation for PhtCon to be an owner of your organization. And I need to have upgraded your BP Pro account to instructor status. That's all done. All right, so once all the preliminaries are done, if you are in the UCSB CS GitHub linker on the Courses tab, and if you have an instructor account, you should have the New Course button. Click on the New Course button, and it should bring you to this screen where you can enter information for your new course. We're going to add the name of the course, UCSB CS123 F20, and we'll use the same thing for the course organization. There are two options here for GitHub webhooks enabled and hidden. We're going to click on GitHub webhooks enabled. That enables the BP Pro to get a notification from GitHub every time there's activity in this organization. And that enables BP Pro to stay in sync with everything that all the students and all the instructors and course staff do within this organization. It's still possible to use BP Pro with this turned off, but then you have to run batch jobs to update the data in BP Pro periodically. We're not going to select hidden because we want this course to appear right away. Hidden is a way you can hide a course from students. We typically only do this after a semester or a quarter is over so that we don't have old course data cluttering up the student-facing interface. So we will go ahead and click Create Course, and we now see that our course was successfully created. If we wanted to update any of those settings, we can go to Edit Course, and that's where we can change the name or the name of the course organization, or change the settings of GitHub webhooks enabled or hidden. I'm just going to go back. We don't need to update any of that right now. So in our course list, we see we have UCSB CS123 F20, and the next step would be to upload a course roster.